Dear third year students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Very good morning to you all. In today's lecture, lecture number 8, we're going to speak about the contrast that are expressed in the verb phrase. In addition to the contrast of tense, aspect, and mood, which we are going to speak about them shortly, the verb phrase is a theater, a battlefield for some other operations or constructions. I know that you know all of these things, but I just want to remind you of these contrasts that are expressed in the verb phrase. So the verb phrase is the place where these operations take place. First, voice, involving the active passive relationship, as in many critics disliked the movie and the movie was disliked by many critics. So if you look at this, kind of contrast, that this kind of operation that takes place on the verb phrase, you will realize that when we change the sentence from the active voice into the passive voice, this involves a change in the structural pattern of the sentence. So if you consider the example, many critics dislike the movie. Here the structure is subject, verb, and object. But if we change it into the passive, the movie was disliked by many critics. Now the structural pattern of the sentence changes into subject, a passive verb with optional adverbial. So you can say the movie was disliked and you stop here. Or you can add the by phrase by saying the movie was disliked by many critics. So my point here is that the contrast or the operation of passivization that takes a place in the verb phrase results in a change in the structural pattern of the statement or of the sentence. Number two, yes no questions. So yes no questions requiring movement and requiring subject movement and the use of an auxiliary as an operator. So it is also the verb phrase, the place that is used to perform the operation of changing a statement into a yes no a question. So we do what a kind of swapping positions between the subject and the operator. So we say our team will play today. Will our team play today? Number three, negation. Converting a statement from assertion into non-assertion, it makes a similar use of operators. So we also need operators here to convert a statement from its assertive form into another non-assertive form. We need an operator plus the negative particle not. So like when we say Jennifer sang last night, uh, if we want to negate it, we say Jennifer didn't sing last night. Number four, emphasis. Emphasis which is frequently carried by the operator. Here we also need an operator to add more force to the verb phrase. So we say, for example, Jennifer did sing last night. Okay, did sing. So we are emphasizing. Okay, so I do support you. Okay, I do believe you. Now you are what? You are adding more emphasis to the what? To the verb phrase. The last one here we have imperatives. So, and the imperatives can be used without a subject and with a subject, without overt subject and with an overt subject. They can be positive, they can be negative. So, like for example, when we say jump or you jump, okay, you shut up, don't step inside. And it can be also expressed by the use of the verb let, like when we say, let's go to the movies. Okay, now after we have spoken about these contrasts, these operations that are done on the verb phrase, now let's speak about the ones that are the main focus of our lecture today, which are tense, aspect, and mood. So first, let's start with tense. And when we start with tense, we need to make a kind of differentiation between tense and time. So, how different are the two notions of time and tense? How different? Now, if we want to make this kind of comparison of differentiation between the two, we need to consider the following. The notion of time is universal over three divisions, which are the past, present, and future. It is non-linguistic, it is non-grammatical, in the sense that it is independent of any particular language. So time is not related to any particular language. Regardless of the language they speak, people all over the world agree that what happens around the present moment is referred to as the present time, and that whatever behind the present moment is referred to as past time, and whatever ahead of the present moment is referred to as future time. So my point here is that the notion of time, the concept of time, is non-linguistic, is non-grammatical, which means that it does not have any relationship with language. For this reason, people all over the world, people in Iraq, people in Japan, people in the United Kingdom, agree that what happens around the present moment is called the present time, and whatever behind the present moment is referred to as past time, and whatever ahead of the present moment is referred to as a future time. So regardless of the languages they speak, they think of time in the same way. Okay, so time does not have any relationship with language. Tense, on the other hand, is a linguistic or a grammatical device, which means that it has a relationship with language. It means the verb form or forms used to express certain time relations. So how do we refer to tense? We refer to tense by the use of special verb forms. Okay, we have special verb forms that are used to indicate the present time, and so you know the special verb forms that are used to refer to the present time, like we have the base verb and we have the s-inflected verb, and we have other verb forms that are used to refer to the past, and other constructions that are used to indicate the future time. So my point here is that the tense is a linguistic and a grammatical device that is recognized by the special verb forms. Okay, that is recognized by special verb forms. Now, I may ask this a question: how many tenses does English have? I know you know the answer, and you may tell me that the number of English tenses are 12 tenses. Okay, that's quite correct. So we have in English 12 tenses. Now let's speak about aspect. What is meant by aspect? Aspect, unlike tense, is not concerned with placing events on a timeline. So when we talk about aspect, we are not concerning ourselves with placing events on a timeline. Rather, aspect is concerned with making distinctions about the kinds of actions that are described by verbs, whether they are or they were still continuing, expressed by the progressive aspect. So aspect is responsible of telling us whether the events, okay, that are described by the verbs are in progress or were in progress, or aspect tells us whether these events or these actions that are described by the verbs are completed or not completed. So, and this is expressed by the perfective aspect. You can see in the chart below that the traditional 12 tenses are actually 12 combinations of tense and aspect. So we usually use to refer to the tenses as what as tenses, but actually they are not pure tenses. Okay, they are not pure tenses. They are combinations of tense and aspect. So if we talk about the present perfect, now the present perfect, present refers to the time, to the present time, and perfect refers to what? Refers to the that the event is completed, okay, or has just been completed. Okay, and when we refer to the present progressive, now the present refers to the present time, the progressive refers to that the event or the action is in a progress, is in a progress. Okay, so this is what is meant by aspect. Aspect is concerned with telling us whether the action that is described by the verb is in a progress or is completed. Okay, so this is what is meant by aspect. Now let's move to speak about mood. Mood is a grammatical term used to denote the forms that a verb takes to show what work it is doing: expressing a statement, expressing a command, or expressing a wish, etc., etc. So the meanings are not confined to these ones. And it is also concerned with, mood is concerned with the manner in which the action or the state is thought of by the speaker. How does the speaker think about what the action or the state? It shows a wide range of meanings, especially attitudes on the part of a speaker towards the factual content of the utterance. So it shows us, it helps us, mood helps us to see the manner in which the action or the state is thought of by the speaker. How does the speaker think about the action or the state? Okay, is it how does he look at the factual content of the utterance? Is he certain about what is going on, and is he telling something definite or something vague, something possible, something necessary, something that is obligatory, etc., etc. So it shows us the manner in which the speaker looks at the factual content of the proposition. English is said to display three main moods, which are the indicative mood, the interrogative mood, and the imperative mood. So these are the three main ones. And two minor moods, which are the exclamatory mood and the subjunctive mood. The indicative mood, the interrogative mood, the imperative mood, and the exclamatory mood have sentence type counterparts. But the subjunctive mood can be marked only by using a different form of the verb from the ordinary called for. Okay. In the upcoming lecture, I will speak about the subjunctive mode separately. So for the time being, I'm not going to say more about the subjunctive mode because I'm planning to deliver a lecture about the subjunctive mode, so a separate one. Okay, so as I said, the four modes, the indicative, the exclamatory, the interrogative, and the imperative modes are said to have a sentence type counterpart. So if we talk about the indicative mood is used to discuss real events in declarative or statements that are either positive or either negative. So the indicative mood is expressed by statements, by declarative statements, declarative sentences. They could be negative, they could be positive. So, like when we say, she made the cake, here the speaker expresses his attitude towards the factual content of the event. Okay? She made the cake. So it means that the speaker is quite sure that she is the person who made the cake. She is not my speaker. Here it expresses what the speaker's attitude toward the factual content of her being his sister. So he is denying this. He is denying the fact that she is his sister. Okay? And today is Sunday. So here the speaker is telling us for sure that today is what is Sunday. The imperative mood expresses commands, prohibitions, and requests. So the imperative mood has the imperative sentence as a counterpart, and we use the imperative mood to express so many meanings. Okay, that we can use it to express commands, to express prohibitions, requests, warning, offers, invitations, please, and so many other meanings. Okay, so for example, when you tell your your little brother, eat your lunch. Okay, so you are commanding him to do so. And when you tell your little sister, don't disturb, so you are what? You are prohibiting her from making any kind of disturbance. And when you say, for example, allow me to help, you are what? You are what? Offering help, or you are requesting somebody to allow you to help them. Okay, the interrogative mood is expressed by means of yes/no questions and WH questions. So the interrogative mood is used to ask about a missing piece of information. Okay, so when we use the imperative mood, the interrogative mood to ask about a missing piece of information, we use what the WH questions. When we use it to seek confirmation or refute of a given proposition, we use the yes/no questions. So when we say, why does he seem upset? So we want to know the reason behind his being upset. And when you say, have you submitted your assignment? We are after receiving a confirmation from the addressee that he has submitted his assignment, or that he does not submit it. He does not submit his assignment. The exclamatory mood conveys a strong emotion, and it is expressed by the use of exclamatory sentences. And as you know, the exclamatory sentences in English are formed by the use of words like what and how, plus we have the adjectives, and as you see, the complete form of the exclamatory sentence. So like, for example, when we say, how disrespectful behavior it is, what a dismal weather it is. So here it shows what a strong a strong emotion about the kind of a proposition made by the speaker. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed the lecture and you find it that you have found it beneficial for you. Thank you, and I wish you the best of luck.